Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. It's Glenn, Angel, Tim, Shalini, Cheyenne, and today we have with us our sexologist, Dr. Martha Tara Lee. Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning, Doctor. Good morning,
I
Martha.
love coming.
We love
love it. We love it when you do too.
And the Kiss fans love you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So today we're talking about something that I don't think we really talk about much, especially on the radio. Conscious uncoupling. What exactly is conscious uncoupling?
Yes, it's a term that was coined by Catherine Woodward Thomas, and this term was popularized by Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin when they got a divorce.
Che, that means it wasn't original. I thought they were the ones who came
Yeah,
up
they
with
popularized it.
conscious
popularized.
uncoupling.
Yes.
Uncoupling.
So it marks the end of a relationship with awareness, compassion, responsibility, and not blame.
Okay, so a nice way to break up. And you're still friends.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's with intentionality and with love. How can you start a relationship with love and end it with a lot of hate? You know, just honor the love and just do it very lovingly.
Because at
Easier
some
said than
point,
done.
Yeah, I
at
was about
some
to
point
say.
in time, you did fall in love with each other, right?
Yeah.
You did care about the person, but it's very hard for some people.
Yeah, so how about those good years and then just when things don't go well and then just blame the person for the bad years?
Yeah.
The hate will come about when there's betrayal.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, the resentment and all that. But, I mean, yes, whatever you said, very, very true. I mean, you started off loving each other, right? Why can't you end off loving each other as well? Unfortunately for... the sad thing in life is that a lot of times this person you were so close to, you spent so many years with, told them your deepest, darkest secrets, and it's such a shame by the end of it, this person is like, to you, the most hated person because of all the things that have happened. It could be resentment, bitterness, in so many other ways. But that is, I feel, the saddest thing. That you went from somebody who was so close, maybe closer than your best friend, to someone you can't even be in the same room with.
And you can't find all those good moments.
Yes.
When you hate someone so much, you cannot find any good in it.
That's why don't let hate kind of manifest.
Yeah.
Jump into another relationship straight away. It's like after 1 week or 2 weeks, you just jump
No,
into
no,
another
let's
relationship.
not
Then
listen
everything
to-
will be fine.
Yeah, sometimes this
Okay.
person is your best friend,
Yeah.
and also there's that foundation of friendship. So it's very painful. The accountability also to your parents. Maybe your parents like them more than they like you.
Yeah.
That happens as well.
Yeah, or if there are kids involved. Then
Yes.
how, right?
Very,
and then they
very
got
tough.
to choose one or the other.
Yeah,
My mom will always go
make
like,
them
I
choose
never
sides?
liked her anyway.
The parent.
Why make them
ignore
choose
the
sides?
parents. The children should not choose.
No,
sides.
the parents, I mean, the children should not be made to choose sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But once again, the same way, like some parents maybe are more fond of one than the other, kids, same way as well. And I'm sure for the couple that's breaking up, this weighs very heavily on them as well.
Of course, yeah.
And then the whole village is involved.
Just cut them off completely. That's the best way.
Again, anything that Glenn says, as soon as he says anything in this session, ignore him.
How
Yeah,
are we
it's
ever
when
going to
it
get
turns
sponsored by
toxic.
Ministry of Family Development with things like that, bro?
Ministry of what?
Family
Family
Development?
Development.
There's
Is
such a
there?
thing?
Do we have?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so this is when it turns toxic, and there are statistics to. Can I still
No,
continue?
of course.
Okay, there
Of
are
course,
still
yeah.
statistics that shows that actually a lot of women are the ones filing for divorce. 22.6% unreasonable behavior versus men 48.5%, and also most of them are giving up after the 5th to 9th year of marriage. So 1/3 of divorces are happening between the 5th to the 9th year of marriage.
That's why they
Wow.
call it the 7-year itch, right?
7 year each. Yeah, cannot survive 7 year each.
Smack in the middle.
Long enough that they've had enough. And it's not always betrayal.
Well, my first marriage was after 7 years. It was gone.
Second
and then
as well, right?
second one also 7 years. When I was in school, I was in a relationship with a girl, 7 years as well. And then the last one is after 8 years.
Okay.
Oh,
cyclical.
you held out. So 7 years is kind of your mark.
Yeah.
You get itchy.
It might be your mark. It's
Did you notice this
Mm.
after the first couple where, as you approach the 6th year of your marriage, you start getting nervous because history has kind of shown that as it approaches the 7th year mark, that's when things start to fall apart?
Me? Nervous? No. Never. No, really, no. In fact, I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe I'll stop at the 4th marriage. One more time. Let's give it one more shot. Anyway, let's talk to Dr. Martha Lee on the Big Show TV. Dochi is next. This is Anxiety on Kiss 92.
We just want to be at the wedding for
yeah,
the food
when-
and drink. That's it.
I just want to be at the stag night.
Let me just put it this way, okay? When it comes to love and marriage and all that, right,
Love
you cannot
and
be scared. The moment you are scared, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because love is a wonderful thing. I think there's a song.
Yeah, I think
Love
so.
is
Yeah.
a wonderful thing.
It is. I will never give up on love. You know what I mean? It's just that you got to know whether it's love or lust, and whether the lust is going to turn to love. That kind of thing. You know what I mean?
All right. So
but
ladies-
if you restrict yourself and you stop yourself, then that's not living as well.
So, ladies, good news. Glenn has so much love to give
Back
and
on-
share with you.
Back on the market.
Which woman will want to end up with me? No way lah. I've got this perfect record. Already.
Okay, you focus on number 4 and then maybe number 5.
Okay,
Okay,
wait.
why don't we focus on Dr.
Exactly,
Martha
it's not
right
about-
now?
yeah.
Yeah, let's.
It's not about me.
Yeah, so it's one thing to really guard your heart. Yeah, it's difficult to go into a relationship with your heart not open. And because of all the pain that people go through, I think a lot of times they go into a lot of self-sabotage and overthinking things and wanting to have control because they have been hurt before.
Dr. Martha, I wanted to ask you because earlier you were talking about all the numbers and you have to be separated for this long. You have to do this when you want to get divorced and stuff like that. Why don't they make getting married as difficult as they make getting divorced? Because I feel like going into it, you really need to be tested. You know, whether it's living together, whether it's this by law.
You think that's the Philippines or what?
No, I'm just saying.
You know, in the
let 'em-
Philippines, it's very hard to get a divorce. But
Yeah.
here in Singapore, actually, now it's easier. Like the latest one is like the fastest, man.
Yeah, but not everyone's going to go down your route of mutual agreement. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They make it very difficult. The separation period and all that, they should make a together period before you get married. You know, live together. See if you actually like each other when you wake up. See if you like the in-laws. If you don't, walk away.
Yeah.
Without getting married.
Actually, you know, I totally agree. It was a very big deal for me and it was a decision. I even shared it with Sabrina at the time. I said, before we even think about getting married, we have to live
Of
with
course,
each other
yeah.
for a period of
Yeah,
time.
Even that is no
and then there are
guarantees.
parents who
Yeah.
are against that whole
Yeah.
living together,
Yeah.
the whole values thing.
No, but it's
How
no
do you know
guarantee
you will
lah,
like the
seriously.
person?
There are people who believe that if you live together, it kills the spark, and therefore the commitment will be eroded.
See, marriage number 1, marriage number 2, marriage number 3, we all lived together for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
Same. The outcome was still the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So there's no guarantee.
Well,
That's what
maybe-
I'm
Did you
saying.
go for counseling?
Yes, that's a good
Also
question.
went for counseling.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't come to me.
But the thing is, all the counselors love me. You see.
Oh.
It's a you
That's,
thing.
and
yeah.
that's a problem as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a counselor, you cannot cite anybody. You
Yeah.
have
That's
to
true,
be
yeah.
a mediator, neutral.
Yeah, my counselor even winked at me.
You
and
took
so
them
I'm
out
like,
for drinks, right? I'm sure. Yeah.
Go back to her. Yes.
I'm afraid
so
something
it
might
is
happen.
true. It is true. I think there are people who do not know that in Singapore there is marriage preparation course and engage encounter. I actually went for both. Engage encounter is for Catholics. I went for both before, and I have to say I wasn't in the right maturity to take those sessions seriously, and neither did my partner. So even though we attended it, there's no guarantee that your marriage would work out.
But it's not for very long, right? Those marriage encounter thingies and all that.
me
They're
a-
like one
Yeah,
weekend, 2
yes,
weekends.
Engage
That's it.
encounter
It's-
is weekend. Yes, marriage
Yeah.
preparation is like okay. So sorry. So marriage preparation is weekend, and engage counter is like over a few sessions.
yeah.
I've heard some of them are like, it's like a camp. Because I had a friend who actually
Yes,
went.
camp.
They stayed
They
overnight, a few nights in a
yes,
row.
It's like a school camp.
Yes, but they
Yes.
really test you. They really test you, and there were actually some couples, right, that broke up by the end of the camp.
By
Because
the camp, right, okay,
they,
good.
they had been shown that maybe the two of them were not prepared for a life together.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's a bit like the reality show, right?
Hmm.
Of you see all these couples, and then you are like guessing who will
Love
work out.
Island.
So
Love
many of
Island,
them. So
yeah.
many of them.
Love is blind.
Love is
Yeah.
blind.
I binge on Love is
All
Blind.
these nonsense shows.
Okay, so I don't know whether all listeners know. I mean, Glenn mentioned it briefly, but on the 1st of January last year, 2024, there's a new ground of divorce, which
July.
is divorce July, which
No,
is divorce by mutual
Agreement.
agreement. So 1 in 6 divorcers in the last 11 months is actually using this, and this is more for like face saving, because I know of people they cannot agree to any of the conditions, which one of them is unreasonable behavior, desertion of 2 years, separation for 3 years
Oh
with
my God.
consent, separation of 4 years without consent. So it is actually quite a number of years, a minimum marriage of 3 years before you can file for divorce. So it does take up a few years of your life if you are not compatible.
So now you have to be married for 3 years minimum
Before you can file for
even
divorce.
think of getting.
Regardless
What
of
about
what cause.
annulment?
Annulment only happens when there's an unconsummated marriage. Say,
Yeah.
for instance, vaginismus. And even then, it's very embarrassing, for people to
I've
admit.
known of some couples that have gone for annulment, and there was definitely stuff involved before
Yeah.
Yeah.
that. You know,
Yeah,
There are
and it's
people-
mutual, right?
I mean, it
What
could be
you
both
agree.
ways. Either
Yeah.
the problem with the lady or the problem with the guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
There's something I want to touch on. I mean, we did mention this off air, but I think for the listeners, I think many of them want to know as well. Okay, when you go through the separation process, all right, you haven't officially gotten divorced yet. Okay, can you go and start dating other people? You're in the separation process, but can you start dating? Maybe get intimate with other people outside of your marriage,
Exploring, right?
without being considered
An extramarital affair.
Yes.
I think if you start dating, your partner can always turn around and say adultery. See,
But
If
we've
it's
already filed for separation.
they can still appeal and all these things.
Yeah.
So it can be challenging, especially when there are kids involved. So I did have somebody I know who did not date for that reason of being very worried about the custody.
That's not fair, right? Because your marriage is already ending. You're not going to get any intimacy out of that. And then you're kind of causing that person to also not be able to get any intimacy anywhere else either.
This is where Mr. Experience comes in.
Ah.
Okay, so 1, 2, 1 and 2 especially, marriage number 1, marriage number 2, I actually put a clause in the contract.
Yeah.
Like, initial, I can't remember what it's called, but basically it is for me to be able to go and date.
Okay.
Okay. And
While the process is...
with all the things that come with dating as well.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course. Of
okay.
course.
Yeah. Okay, going
No
back
one's
on it.
gonna know.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're on the PIE in both directions, quite a number of situations. The first is towards Changi after Kallang Way, a vehicle has broken down. And on the same stretch towards Changi as well, after Eng Neo Avenue, avoid lane 1, an accident. And if you're on the PIE heading in the opposite direction towards Tuas, after Jalan Baha, avoid lane 4 because a vehicle has broken down. Also on the BKE towards the PIE after the SLE, look out for a vehicle having trouble there. If you spot anything else, you can always WhatsApp us, 88550920.
We are with our sexologist from Eros Coaching, Dr. Martha Lee. Once again, good morning, Martha.
Good morning.
Good morning, Martha.
Martha, baby.
So a lot of people do not know that even when the divorce is uncontested, it actually takes about 6 to 12 months to actually finish everything, the paperwork, and people are surprised. It's not like in the US, you file and then you are divorced the next day.
So it does take some time.
Yeah. Now, earlier on, you mentioned, right? Yes, when couples choose to break up, there is an uncoupling involved. It's not always resentment. It's not always bitterness. How big of a factor is intimacy? Where that plays a part, where they just go, I'm sorry, our sex life just not great anymore. That's why we are choosing to uncouple.
Okay, there are people who come to me who actually do cite the lack of sex or bad sex as one of the reasons, but I think most of the time it is much, much more than that. A lot of it has to do with intimacy. So there's partner or one partner being emotionally unavailable, neglecting or abusive. What about the emotional labor involved in being in a marriage where you are the one responsible for all the date nights, the family, the gifts, the birthdays and housework. So this exhaustion causes a lot of people to feel that it's just they're just burnt out and they want out of the marriage.
And it's not just always the woman who remembers the dates and does the housework. There are a lot of house husbands these days as well, and stay-at-home dads
Yeah.
Yes.
that do all of that, right? And it can get frustrating when you have your partner in life not backing you up on things like that because you're a team, right?
Yeah, and also, well, depending on the stage of marriage, of life that you're in, especially now, imagine you got kids, right?
Yeah.
A lot of your bandwidth is going to be focused.
Of course.
And this is something I've confided with Glenn. I'll even say it out loud. Sometimes for a lot of couples, including myself, once you start having a family, you almost forgot how to be a couple. You become a parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am a parent,
First.
not necessarily a couple anymore.
That's where teamwork comes in. It's so important for that. And a lot of people, home is the place you rest, and so they show their best self at work. They are optimized, and then they just collapse, at home, and they're just not showing up.
Yeah.
How do people go back to being couples,
Yeah.
after being parents? Because people tend to forget, like Tim says, all your focus is on the child together, right?
Yes.
But then you forget about that other triangle together, the top bit that started the whole relationship.
Yes, I think communication is very important, to keep communicating, even if they cannot be as intimate as they would like to. Even just saying that helps a lot. There's also prioritizing, blocking out time, and planning, being conscious about having babysitters for the children, for instance.
And no talk about children when you go on dates.
Yes.
I
Oh,
feel,
that's hard. It's hard.
No talk about children. Like, talk about everything else. I
Yeah.
feel that would really help, because it's
Yeah.
always like, for example, Charlie this, or he did this in school, or did you see this thing he did the other day? But I think it should just be about you
Yeah,
two.
it kills the romance.
But it's so hard. It's so hard with
No, it is hard.
with
Yeah.
kids. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not saying
No,
don't
I
have
know.
kids, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is for couples who are consciously uncoupling, right? Like what Dr. Martha mentioned earlier on. I mean, the it's a factor,
Of course,
right?
of
You know
course
what I
it
mean?
is.
It makes
Yeah.
it a lot harder to uncouple when you have
Yeah.
assets involved. You have kids involved.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
for sure.
Shared responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't envy couples who are going through that.
Yes, and
Right now
should
it's so much
still-
harder.
They should always still be a priority. So that's your relationship with yourself, their relationship with themselves, and the relationship you have. So that's actually a third party, the relationship that needs nurturing and guarding.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. It's 8:22.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian.
But yeah, to your point, right? I mean, even when we go on holidays, just the two of us, right? Oh, even when we're there, we're still taking out the phones,
Checking the
Let's check
camera.
the cameras to see
Yeah.
what Charlie is up to.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm going to say this to the camera right now, okay? From someone who is experienced, and this is probably going to be like the best advice ever. If you are not planning to start a family, you are absolutely certain you don't want to have kids and all that, there is no point getting married. Seriously, if you want to start a family, that is when you get married. If you are not, then I would say no. If you've already had kids, I mean, that's another story again altogether. But what I'm saying is, if you're a young couple, planning to get married for the first time, if you are not going to have kids, as in like you have decided there is no way I'm going to have kids, it's just going to be the both of us, then maybe you should hold off a little bit.
The problem in Singapore is, if you decide to do that, and I don't want to be, I don't want to dampen what you've said. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
You won't be able to buy an HDB flat.
Yes, your
Right.
That's it.
BTO.
That's it.
Also, marriage.
And that is linked,
Yes, also marriage is a sign of commitment, and love is a celebration of love, and all your assets, your visitation rights, the face saving,
to the
living
relatives and
together.
this, yeah.
Like, how is this socially acceptable as well? So that's
I
a lot
guess.
of consideration.
And things change too, right? I mean, when I first got married, I truly believed I was never going to become a dad. I had even put that out prior to us even getting married, that I don't think I'm ever going to be a father. Are you okay with that, right? But then look what happened. I got married, and then I became a
got
dad.
drunk and then had child Charlie.
Love is love.
And that's a blessing. I
Yeah.
feel like kids are a blessing. But what I mean here is that marriage is so hard these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I totally agree that if you're not going to have kids, even if you are going to have kids, for me, if I could rewind, I would still not get married and still have kids, But for me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like here in Singapore, it's made even harder because you won't be able to own a flat. And it is your Singaporean prerogative and right to own or buy an HDB flat at least once in your life because of all the subsidies and this and that, but you can't do it unless you're
Yeah.
over 35 or you're married.
And that's quite sad. I mean,
Yeah.
just hearing that.
It
like,
is.
oh, you got to get married because if
Because-
not, you can't get the flat.
And
That doesn't
a lot
make
of,
any sense
No, but
to
a
me.
lot of people are doing that,
I
and then they
know.
get married and then they get divorced.
I know.
You know?
I know.
And divorce can be expensive and painful.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who makes all the money? Who benefits? All the lawyers, right?
Yeah, for sure. For
Which is
sure.
why in unconscious, with conscious uncoupling, I think it's important to agree how you're going to separate and divorce, and then hire the same lawyer so that you can save on that divorce.
Can you do
fees.
that?
Yes.
I mean,
you
there's no
can.
conflict of interest or anything like
if
that.
it's uncontested.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about maybe going for mediation so that you can lower the cost of this litigation and all these things.
Is this a conversation should be having before you get married? I mean, it's very unsexy, but it's very practical.
I think we are not really hearing about prenup and postnup. So prenup is before marriage,
Yeah.
and then during your marriage, then you have the postnup. For people who are like on hindsight, yes, we should have talked about it a little bit
Right,
better.
okay.
So there are people that I know of doing this, even though there is some argument whether it really holds up in court.
So prenup is it a big thing in Singapore?
It's not a big thing, but it is actually being done, and this is something that couples should consider.
Okay.
Yes, next
All right.
one confirm. There'll be a prenup.
Prenup, yeah, for
man.
sure, for sure.
I would be so much richer today.
Okay. I just want to run through some messages that are coming in via our Facebook as well. Lavina says, Dear Glenn, why search for love from someone? Why not love yourself and self-care?
Oh, he loves himself
means-
already, or done already.
Just
What's
love
self-care as in
yourself.
what?
Take care of yourself.
Oh.
Instead
Yeah,
of
yeah, he
going
does
out to take
also-
care of other people.
He loves himself. He can't love himself anymore.
Talk about your supplements.
Oh, okay.
Benjamin says, it takes as much time to be together and spending the same time to decouple.
Wow.
I don't know about that. I feel like some people have spent a longer time trying to break up than actually being in the relationship, depending on how complicated the decoupling was. Winston totally agrees with Glenn. Wow, you got a lot of supporters today, bro. Says, why get married if you're not going to start a family? Just be partners.
The HDB flat.
Yeah, don't marry because of
Angel
HDB
just
is what
No,
Winston is
yeah,
saying.
but I
yeah.
mean, how are you going to afford a condo? You know,
Yeah.
as a young couple, I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rent lah. No, many people are renting.
No,
what?
they are because I think nowadays a lot of mindset is no commitment, which might come in with the marriage as well. No
Yeah.
commitment for getting a car. That's why people are using the private hire or rental or bus or whatever it is.
Yeah.
No commitment to contracts, cable TV,
Yeah.
streaming services. That's why a lot of services are doing month to month right now because people don't want to commit. I don't know if it's the same numbers for marriages. Are less people getting married now? Do you think, or do you have those numbers?
There are less people getting married now, and also more divorces happening. One of the things I wanted to highlight is that there are statistics about US, UK, Australia that talks about post-holiday surges. So I'm seeing more clients coming in wanting to break up or get a divorce. I think it's also because they do not want to bring this energy into the next year. So in US, in the other countries, Western countries, they see a divorce surge after year end, January to March, maybe because of family stress and also after summer vacations. There's also a divorce season happening after Valentine's Day and Christmas. So I think this is a time of stress that we are coming up to Christmas, and it's important for couples to really take the time to strengthen their relationship if they can.
And for Singapore, it would be like things like Christmas and Chinese New Year, right?
Chinese New Year is a big thing.
Right?
Yeah.
So do they want to still be seen together at Chinese New Year, or do they want to break up before Chinese New Year?
And sometimes they go. I know of people who stay together because they have vacations planned,
Yeah.
and so they choose to break up after the holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But
right,
yeah, with
okay.
the whole Chinese New Year thing, I imagine also because they don't really want to be spending the whole Chinese New Year visiting, answering questions like, "Where's your partner? What happened?"
So
What
stay
happened to the
together
children?"
until
Yes,
after,
Yeah, so
right.
maintain that facade until after Chinese New Year, and you don't have to worry about seeing your
For
relatives.
another year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for us to also respect people where they are at. And
Yeah, don't
not,
ask, what business is
Yeah,
it?
not cause unnecessary stress to people.
Yeah, I don't want to like emphasize too much on like the whole sex thing and all that. But when someone breaks up and moves on, and decides to go into another relationship, what is it that they look forward to?
What do you mean?
Fun.
Cynthia? Yeah, something
why they
fresh.
call it,
something fresh.
Yeah, what is that
Rebound,
fresh?
right?
Everything, fresh.
Like looking at each other's faces,
No,
just watching
fresh-
TV together.
You're saying a new
what?
relationship.
Yes.
Fresh moves, fresh voice, fresh habits, fresh tastes, fresh likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes you away from a routine that you were used to and gives you something new. It's like getting a new car.
Yeah,
Okay.
they call
You
it
know?
new relationship energy.
That
Yeah, it's-
excitement, that electricity. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
The
Something that you have
sparks.
not seen.
Which ultimately leads to what?
Leads to the same post honeymoon period, which goes into the routine and the mundane.
Yeah.
So just change them every 3
So
months.
I think human beings are addicted to that.
Yes.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
rather than keep going for this dopamine hit of a
Yeah.
new relationship,
Short term.
yeah, like being a serial relationship person,
Yeah.
really also understand the different stages of a relationship and really appreciate the commitment and the
Yeah.
stability as well.
Because there's a beauty in a long-term relationship. Like I never saw it until until I got into my current
Right.
relationship. I think to myself, like, if we weren't together anymore tomorrow,
Yeah.
I would be so tired just thinking about trying
Starting
to get a
all
new-
over again,
Oh my
right?
gosh! Like I am like not interested.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not interested in getting that fresh spark. So what do? Try and create and maintain whatever it is I
Yeah. But-
have.
Is it human nature to want to sleep with everyone?
No, it's only Glen nature.
Really?
FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. I know of people who say, "Oh, how many more years will I be able to do it?" And so sometimes that's their motivation of breaking up.
Not necessarily. I mean, like when
Or
you're
keeping it
out, for
going.
example. I mean, you know who you want to kind of like, sleep with.
Then just sleep with them.
Yeah, you can
But
have the
keep it safe,
desire.
yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
can have the
you say that. I
Yeah.
mean, look, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because but what I'm saying here is that is it human nature to just be
Monogamous.
sexually attracted to just one person?
Of course. I feel you can be sexually attracted to many people. You can have desire for them, attraction for different people, but it doesn't mean that
You act on it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
act on it. It is
Right.
always your choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So isn't that going to make you a very unhappy person? Let's say if the person you are with, the person you have sworn to spend the rest of your life with, suddenly starves you of that intimacy.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
then
for
what
sure.
happens then?
Yeah, for
Is it then right for that person to then go out of the marriage and color outside the lines?
Okay, so
In order
that's
to
where
stay in
cheating
the-
happens, or
Right.
you can negotiate and open up the relationship, right? But I feel a lot of it
Tongkat
has to
Ali
do
coffee,
with.
by the way.
I feel that a lot of it has to do with communication and boundaries.
Okay,
Yeah.
would you suggest an open relationship then? I mean,
Open relationship.
an open relationship, like a couple. You know, what I mean, really, the factor of contention is just the amount of sex they're having or their intimacy issues, right? Other than that, they're doing fine. You know, they're great parents. They're responsible in their duties, but there is clearly unhappiness in that aspect. Would you suggest it? I mean, because I'm sure there's a whole. It's like opening a Pandora's box when it comes to problems with that.
You've got to have the rules, though.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
got to have
correct.
rules.
So sex is so much more than sex. A lot of times, I have clients who say, despite all the difficulties, they don't want to go out of the marriage because of the emotional connection
Yeah.
when it comes to sex. So the quality of sex. But yes, it is possible to negotiate and have an open relationship if you want, because there are other things involved like the history, the friendship, and the kids, the assets.
Okay. All right. Going back on air for traffic update.
180 years of news you can trust. Online at straitstimes.com.
Don't touch that dial.
All the great songs in one place. Here we go! Singapore's Kiss 92. Kiss 92 traffic.
We have just the one situation on the PIE towards Tuas. This is after Jalan Baha. An accident is causing quite a bit of backup all the way to Jurong West Avenue 2. If you're heading down that stretch, perhaps find an alternative route because lanes 4 and 5 are affected. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is from Eros Coaching, Dr. Martha Lee. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just while we were on Facebook TV, on the Big Show TV, we were talking about open relationships, right? And all the complications that can come with an open relationship. Who is it usually harder on, the man or the female?
Well, actually, it's usually harder on the men.
Yeah?
Because there's this territorial thing, ego. They do not want to be sharing their partner. So as sexy as it sounds, actually, because of the way we are brought up, like culturally, a lot of clients, even when we are like so-called brainstorming, they would usually turn it down.
And when it comes to an open relationship, who is usually more emotionally attached, the women or the men?
I think both.
Okay.
Because of the history, the love that they have. So yeah, I think a lot of people, as sexy as it sounds, they when they realize the work involved in opening up a relationship, the jealousy that's involved, the insecurities that come up, the fear of abandonment. So a lot of people that I've spoken to, they actually don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Why is it our culture, well, most cultures, do not allow, let's say, the husband or the wives to color outside the marriage lines? Because I was reading somewhere that in Japan, it is culturally acceptable.
For the
Have you heard about that? Like in a marriage, if let's say, the couple is not having, intimacy anymore, physical intimacy, then the wife will allow the husband, for example, to go out and get his release somewhere else.
Maybe they close one eye, but I also think there's this double standard, and the culture of Japan is quite unique. This sexualization, fetishization of women
Right.
is so rampant in Japan, and I've seen videos of them doing street interviews of women, and they just say, "Oh, it's okay, you have sex outside of marriage as long as there's no love."
Yeah.
What about something like polyamory? Being polyamorous, just having multiple partners.
Yeah.
Even when you're not married, and everybody knowing about everybody. I've heard that it's on the rise here in Singapore.
Yes, I think this is more obvious with the younger generation, because I think they're just much more honest about all the options that's available in the world. And I don't really have an opinion of whether that's right or wrong. My work is to support clients where they're at. But I think a lot of people just glamorize it. They see it as a choice. They actually want the fun without the commitment or the communication. The communication is a big part of it. And most Asians, unfortunately, I've seen they're actually lousy communicators.
So you still think that there's a stigma when it comes to that? I mean,
I think
multiple partners.
There are a lot of things going on in Singapore that a lot of men on the street may not be aware of. They don't want to know about it. They don't want to think about it. So the world as we know it is not so clear, like black and white.
So what are these things going on that men don't want to know or talk about?
Well, things like what we are talking about, like open
Polyamorous.
relationship, polyamory,
Body count.
these terms that I think a lot of the older generation they
Yeah.
feel they cannot catch up.
Right.
Got it.
Can you just give like all the wives some advice right now for all of my brothers, not just my friends, but I mean men in general who are feeling like they're not getting enough from their wives, and they're suffering in silence, so to speak.
And they don't want to fool around.
Yeah, and they don't want to fool
Yeah.
around, but these guys, their wives are not really thinking too much about physical
They're
intimacy.
not quenching their thirst.
Yeah, how about some advice for
Yes.
some
For
of
the
the wives
women.
out there? Yeah.
Yes. So the advice to the men is really show up in the relationship. It's difficult to just keep asking for the sex when you're not showing up for your partner.
But why can't the wife just give it to?
No. I see what
Because
you
they are
mean.
not just physical beings, they're also emotional, mental beings.
And I see what you mean, because a lot of men, I'm not generalizing, but I was stereotyping, but a lot of men that I know or have heard of, they pay the bills, they pay the school fees, they do all that, they keep the household alive, but there's no emotional presence
Yes.
when it comes to that. But they will come back and they will say, but I pay for all
Yeah.
the bills and I
Correct.
keep the roof over your head. But that's not enough.
So that's
That
the
is not enough.
entitlement,
No, but
right?
that's the entitlement, exactly.
The
But
traditional thinking, like
Yes.
you're the provider and
You're
that's
the-
all you need
Yeah, but
to
men
do.
and women are different. You have to admit that, right? You know what I mean? But
Yes.
why can't the wives just understand that
Yes.
and
So-
just help relieve his?
That's what they do, right? With the hand job. But it's another thing. Is another thing. This chicken and egg, right? Who gives
goes
first?
first, yeah.
And what happens most of the time is the women have been doing it for the longest time, and then sex becomes a duty
Yeah,
obligation.
I mean, why can't the guy come home and the wife surprises him by being in like a French maid's outfit or something?
Because of the
just
5 children running
just to-
around
Yeah.
and the 2 helpers running around.
Let's
and
say there are no children. That's the thing.
why can't they?
It takes effort, right, to keep the spark going, and I think most of the time they just take each other for granted.
I blame the
Hey, the
internet
spark-
for this. They
somehow.
set unrealistic expectations, right? Because the same way guys will look on Instagram, about these women who dress up for their men, who please them,
In
no
these
questions
thongs
asked.
and-
Same way women will look at these guys on Instagram as well, the perfect husband who will do this, and satisfy them both emotionally as well as physically.
Yeah.
And so everybody starts getting unrealistic expectations. Now they expect expect that from their partners.
Yeah.
But exactly what Dr. Martha just mentioned just now. It only takes a spark to get the fire going. Isn't that
no, it
interesting?
takes
Yes,
a
yeah.
spark. I recognize that song.
Yes.
Yes.
I just sang it last Sunday.
I
Okay.
like it.
Okay. All right, let's continue to talk to Martha, Dr. Martha Lee on the Big Show TV. Marino and Alexandria are next with a track called Lust on Kiss 92.
This is brand new.
Here's it.
Suddenly I felt very guilty singing that
No,
song.
I
amidst
know.
this
I was like,
conversation.
now I know what it means.
Oh my goodness.
I really want us to talk about how
How to uncouple.
Okay,
How?
That's the topic.
Let's go.
Okay,
That's
so
the
the thing
topic.
is, you want to talk about having intentionality, awareness, compassion. So some of the things that I feel you really need to think about is what is fair. Because a lot of times they say, oh, is it fair to divide the assets in this way or in that way? I like to differ. I like to say that life is not fair. So if you want to insist on fair, think about how being unfair can help you to get back your life, and isn't that more important?
Okay.
Isn't that a selfish attitude though? Thinking of yourself?
No.
No,
you get back your
I don't
life.
think so.
Yeah.
Because maybe they get more of this or X amount, whatever, but you get back your life. And also through the process of the uncoupling, to not lose your soul. Like be
Yeah.
so mean and so toxic and just like going after the person.
Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me?
No,
I don't know what happened in your marriage.
No, but it's true. I mean, really, it's a
Yeah.
way to get back your life. I think she is happier and I am happier, and I think that's the way to go. Because I mean, if you're in a toxic relationship, if things are not working out already, every day you dread going home.
Yeah.
You're having arguments over and over again. You become hypersensitive,
Unhappy.
So
Yeah.
you
No, I totally agree that you
save
have
yourself.
You have to look after yourself before you can look after anyone else. If you are unhappy, you're going to be projecting that unhappiness on everyone.
Correct.
Kids, parents, whatever.
Correct. And in the process of doing this, of uncoupling, to not lose your soul, to
Yeah.
not let the process change the good person that you are,
Yeah.
to the point that you do things and say things
That's unlike
that
you.
you start to dislike yourself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now I can be the sex addict that I am.
Exactly. No,
Be
it's
the-
true,
be the bigger person.
Be the bigger
Well,
person.
Okay, be the bigger person.
On the time of the night, he could be the bigger person.
Oh, stop.
My bro. Woo!
Okay, so
Look at Angel's face.
Can we let Dr. Martha carry
Yes.
on with her
Yeah,
topic?
correct.
so
Today we extend the show till
Hey,
10.
hey.
As in like okay, no.
No, we're
Okay,
not.
So I have clients who say that they come in and they're still undecided whether they want to break up. So I often ask them use this analogy. Do you have one foot out the door, so there's still some hope, or do you already have 2 feet out the door and you didn't even realize? And sometimes it takes them to have that clarity before they decide to go through the process. I think the hardest part of any breakup is deciding.
Yeah, I think people also need to just ask themselves, is there any reason to stay? Like I've spoken to a lot of people who are like on the verge of or thinking of, is there any reason to stay? Because I know that there are plenty of reasons to go,
Yeah. And also hear
right?
of,
But is there anything worth
Yes.
still working on?
And
Yeah, the
also,
hanky-panky.
also
That's not enough.
I hear a lot of them saying things that they don't have any more energy. They're just too tired, and this comes up a lot. They're just too tired.
Are they parents?
burnt out?
Yeah.
Not
But
always.
listen, this is why I don't understand. And once again, I'm speaking up for all the guys who are, all the husbands and, who are tuned in right now. Why can't the wives just understand that their husbands are such simple creatures? If you help to satisfy them, they will give you everything.
Then why can't the husbands understand that the women are not as simple creatures?
Because the women are, they're not as simple.
Yeah,
So
so you need to compromise on the man's side as
wow,
well.
if that's
No,
the
it's
case, then
true.
okay, you go your way, I go my
But,
way. lah.
then-
It's so easy for a woman to just satisfy their men.
For sure. But then where's the woman being kept happy though?
Yep.
The guy is
What?
working so hard to keep you happy,
See,
to
no,
give
the guy-
you whatever you want.
The guy is working very hard to provide and
Yes,
think
to
that
provide.
that's everything.
So
but
what's
it's
it's a
not.
small
No,
thing
it's-
for the woman to just
No,
Okay,
that's a
put it-
give it
horrible
to him.
thinking.
Okay, put it simply, I would like to say that in general, women are much more multifaceted in terms of the way we think and the way we get a lot of things done, like multitask. Esther Perel says that it is not true that women are not into sex. They are just not motivated to have sex because sex is no longer interesting, exciting, also the variety of it.
Right.
And so most, like you said, simple men, quoting Glenn, okay, they tend to be creatures of habit and they just think, don't rock the boat, it works. They just want a lot of repetition and it's really boring.
To the women. Yeah, for sure.
So something I just want to raise, okay? Now, yes, to some men, just showing up, right, and satisfying you could be a very simple process. But depending on the kind of guy as well, you've got different standards, different expectations as well. It could maybe also to you, getting satisfied is not just someone just lying there. Maybe they have to be into it. Maybe they have to role play. So it also comes down to
role play, yeah.
to
Communication as well.
Yeah, to the expectations that you have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, while you want to be satisfied, finding that satisfaction also has different tiers as well.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So I also think it's about finding someone who is willing to meet your degree of satisfaction.
Yeah, but what I mean is, why, look, a guy will be satisfied after 5 minutes, no? 5 minutes.
5 minutes of doing it. 5 minutes of lying there. 5 minutes of
Whatever.
actually being engaged.
Right, but the guy just needs that, right?
Yeah, but
even
that-
if it's 5 minutes, don't tell me the wives can't even give 5 minutes of.
But did
of
they
time.
actually say, I only need 5 minutes?
No, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
as
after
a
you give
guy,
them 5 minutes, they want more.
right? It's
I don't
yeah,
think
of
so.
course.
No, after men, they're done.
No, you see, the thing about men is when they don't do it, right, they will lose their what do you call ability to want to do it, and
I feel that's a lot of pressure
It's
and
very
shame
sad.
you're putting onto a woman.
Yeah, it's
what
very,
about
very
the
sad.
man doing the bare minimum all the time and it's enough already?
bare minimum, as in what?
Yeah, like just show up and then just like do me now. I need it. I have needs. You can't be like that in
well,
a relationship.
But it's better than nothing for some guys,
Is this
right?
is this fallacious for me to say?
Fallacious.
In the process, men are generally the ones who are exerting more energy.
In what process?
The intimacy.
Why are they exerting more energy? They just have to lie there if they wanted to.
Actually,
The
that's where
man?
you're wrong,
Yeah.
no? It's the woman who can just lie there.
Yeah.
The man still has to get turned on.
Yes.
But the man is already turned on when he comes home
see
and he
what I
says,
mean?
woman,
This-
give it to me.
The physical action of
Yeah.
doing it, right, is going to involve more exertion
This
from the man.
is why
right?
men end up paying for it.
Oh,
I don't know
true.
whether about more exertion
I'm serious, I'm
as
not kidding.
opposed to where they're at.
Right.
If someone is busy, tired, stressed,
Yeah.
they have nothing to give.
Oh.
you're
they
talking
just-
about the women or the men? The women.
Either.
Either.
Okay.
Okay.
So difficult. See? So difficult.
Differences in expectations.
Yeah,
Ditto.
let's not generalize.
Right? But when you buy them a $5 million home, it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure. It's like, fine. But then just 5-10 minutes of, some pleasure is like so hard.
But they want everything, not just the house. Everything. They want everything.
Which is why I'm saying just to keep the man happy. It's just very simple. Right? That's all. I mean, the women
for
have to
you.
understand that. Can you please?
Maybe for him,
Can
yeah.
you please make your husbands happy? Okay,
Wow.
that's what I'm saying. You
Okay.
see, wow.
I'm
It's
allowed
like,
to
wow.
say wow when you say
Okay,
stuff.
don't listen to everything Glenn says.
Exactly.
That's Tate McRae. She's hot. Just keep watching right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. It's Glenn, Angel, and Tim together with the fabulous Dr. Martha Lee from Eros Coaching.
And speaking, of course, of Just Keep Watching, we would like to remind you that all this conversation that we have with Dr. Martha is on Facebook, on YouTube as well. I would suggest you go back and you keep watching because there are going to be a lot portions of this discussion that didn't actually make it onto the radio waves.
Oh, absolutely.
That's right.
Yes, for
yes.
sure.
Tim was like so daring on the Big
We
Show
have
TV.
so much fun all the time. So
Yeah.
yes, watch us on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you, Dr. Martha, for that plug. It's
Yeah.
Kiss 92 FM.
Dr. Martha Lee, Dr. Martha Baby Lee. Did you finish covering what you wanted to cover today? Because I know
Yes.
we were interrupting you so much today.
Yes, I cover everything.
She's
So I've
on
been
to her
checking.
last page already.
Oh, okay. So you've basically just covered everything
Yes,
already.
I
Okay,
think
good.
the lowdown of conscious uncoupling is really doing it with intentionality and love. You started the relationship with love, you end it with love.
Oh, I love
Don't
that.
let that change who you are, and the love that was there, even if things have changed.
Especially if you have children. Like there's shared assets involved. I think, do it for the kids.
Yeah, being able to
Please.
demonstrate emotional maturity is part of growing up. And be proud of the way you handled the ending as well, including being generous.
Emotional maturity. I like that.
Right. So if you feel like you're emotionally immature and you need help, go and look for Dr. Martha Lee.
Yeah, go for counseling.
Okay.
Yeah.
At Eros Coaching. Thank you so much, Martha, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I have this Uncovering Eros happening next weekend, November 8 and 9. Check out my website under events.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Are we going to see you next week? Yes.
I hope so. I hope so.
We'll arrange it. Yeah.
I can't wait to find out, what Dr. Martha Lee wants to talk about next week on the show.
I can't wait to see what she's going to bring us over the last couple of weeks.
We've had
Shak.
gifts.
Yeah, we've had
Don't take it out.
prophylactics.
Don't take it out.
We've had.
Bro! No.
Don't,
Well,
don't,
I didn't say.
don't show.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And wipes. What are these wipes?
Yeah.
Bro.
These wipes?
Stop.
I like-
Can you switch his mic
I
off,
like all
please?
these gifts from Dr. Martha, Okay, anyway, thank you, Dr. Martha Lee.
Thank you.